promises to be an absolute belter. It's another home sellout awaiting the last two unbeaten sides who go head-to-head at Still Group Craven Park. It's been another sensational round, and this could well be the best of the bunch. We're live at Still Group Craven Park as Hull Kingston Rovers take on the Leigh Leopards. Kick-off at 3 o'clock. Well, round 5 kicked off on Thursday night. A first win of the season for the Salford Red Devils, who beat the Giants. Warrington edged a superb game over St Helens on Friday as Hull FC kept up their excellent start with a hard-fought win at Wakefield. Yesterday saw the Dragons win in the rain at the Jungle as they beat Castleford before Leeds beat the champions Wigan in an absolute thriller. Today it's the top two in the Super League going head-to-head. Someone's unbeaten record could well go today as Hull take on Leigh. What about the table then? Well, we know that these two sit proudly in first and second, but who will be there come 5 o'clock this evening? Hull sit in the lofty place of third. Saints, Wigan and Leeds make up the top 6, leaving Warrington on the edge of the playoff spot. Huddersfield top up the table, yet to win. Let's have a look at the two teams then. Well, Arthur Morg was signed from the Dragons this week by the Robins, but he's not included in the squad today, so Jack Broadbent continues in the fullback position. Tom Davis and Joe Burgess have got 6 tries between them. Tyrone May and Mikey Lewis partner in the halves. It's a vastly experienced pack in which Elliot Minchella makes his 100th Super League appearance, and there's plenty of size in the interchanges as well, as Tanganoa, Whitbread and Luckley join Jeslett on the Robins bench. What about the Leopards then? Still no Rob Mulhern. He could be back next week. Josh Charnley remains out. David Armstrong's been superb so far at full-back for the Leopards. Ceci New and Amila Hanley have been in fine form in the centres. And Gareth O'Brien's got plenty of history on this ground. He needs just 2 points to clock up a career total of 1,500 points. Edwin Apape is in the front row with Owen Chart and Alec Tuitavaki. Brogan, Davis, Penne and Dwyer make up the Leopards bench. Delighted to say here at Craven Park this afternoon, I'm joined by the one and only Barry McDermott. Barry, this promises to be an absolute cracker.
Good afternoon, Mark. Good afternoon, everybody at home. What a game we've got in prospect here. Mouth-watering. Top 2, as you say, both teams undefeated. I thought we'd take a look at a couple of speedsters. Jamila Hanley's been in sensational form. 6 tries in his last 3 appearances for the Leopards. And Joe Burgess over on the left side for his team. Sensational player that can score a try from anywhere, looks for work, knows where the try line is, and although there's going to be some almighty tussles in the middle, there's no doubt about it, there's some real tough players in the middle, and it's going to be defence first and foremost in the minds of both teams. They're here to entertain the crowd. They're at home. Hull will fancy the chances, and this is going to be a great one.
It is. Great following as well from Leigh. There are just a handful of tickets left out of their allocation, so it is a virtual sellout here as the two teams come out. You see there is a bit of a breeze in the air. Auckland Lamb. David Armstrong will be hoping for big games today. The Robins have won their last 5 head-to-head with Leigh, but Leigh, of course, famously won the Challenge Cup final at Wembley. Some experienced campaigners going at it today. As the official in the middle, Liam Moore. Bench Taylor is our video referee this afternoon. It's a tough one to call, Barry. They're both in great form. Of course, Leigh did drop a point when they drew at Hull FC a couple of weeks ago, but they'll come here looking to inflict a first win in the last 6.
Look, I think this is a 50-50 game. You probably edge towards Hull KR, 1 because they're at home, and 2 because Leigh have a couple of bodies missing. But it is a definite 50-50.
It's a great atmosphere when we come here to Still Group Craven Park. High kick-off is dealt with by May. Here is Roya Hargreaves, who's wrapped up. There's plenty of size in these 2 packs. It's going to be blood and thunder today for sure. Davis, he's made a good start to life as a Robin, hasn't he?
Yeah, always hungry for work, looking to help out in the backfield, gain those metres. And you mentioned the size of the pack. Obviously, they are big in the middle, the Hull Kingston Rovers pack, but what they are as well is the physical. Michael McAlorum at the base of the play the ball there leads that aggression.
It's up towards the 40-metre line. Nice little bit of footwork from Minchella.
Lovely stuff.
Good carry and a big tackle on the end of it from Ipape. This is the last one. They're going to go to Lewis, who will send the kick downfield. Armstrong backpedals, catches it on the full. There's a wall of white shirts in front of him, and he's tackled 11 off his try line.
Hasn't he been impressive, David Armstrong? Only slight in terms of what he puts on the scales when he weighs himself, but my word, he runs his body weight and accelerates onto the ball. As soon as he catches the ball in backfield, he's looking to gain those meters.
A big challenge goes in there. It was the Leopards with Hanley. Maybe Lamb up in the coaching box. Here's O'Brien, drops it on the angle for O'Neill. Kick from Lamb, will send it high, and it's just holding up on the wind there, so the advantage of the wind in the first half is with the Robins as Broadbent at fullback. So Attamorg to come in as well, but Broadbent showing he can fill a number of positions. He's become a really useful player, hasn't he?
He's a good utility value, isn't he? He can play anywhere in that backfield, but the physicality on show from both sides. Already kick chase, pressure put on the kick, and that's why it only gained 25-30 metres.
Willie Peters looking on. His side 6 from 6 in all competitions. They've got that big Hull derby to look forward to in the cup, and they meet again on Good Friday. Carried forward over halfway. This is the last one. Michael Oram in at dummy half. We'll play it now. Here is Lewis, going to send it high again. He's inviting the wingers to get some pressure on, and that's a great chase over on that far side from Burgess.
We're going to have plenty to admire in this match, especially in the defensive department. Both teams with good line speed and good intensity pressure their opponents.
These are big carries. Michael Oram looking to put the big shot on as the Leopards looking to move the ball a little bit wider to Tessie New. Settled into life in Super League very well. The former Dolphin star. Last one, and they're still on the 20 here. Lamb again is going to have to kick. He goes high. This might not even get over the halfway line. It does just, where it's caught on the full by Broadbent. And you have to say, early exchanges here. Certainly it's Hawkinson Rovers who've got the early advance.
They look to apply pressure defensively. As I said, that line speed, contact, control. The kick is a bit stunted, and that's the reason they're in what players and coaches term as good ball.
Here's Hadley. There's no resmarting for the foreseeable future, but they've got more than able deputies. Here goes Lewis. Lewis slicing through. No support. He's inside. Wants to play it quickly. Here's McElhoran. Oh, was that pass forward? No, it wasn't. Last one. They need to find something here. They're going short. Where Hargreaves is wrapped up. A little bit disorganised on those last two plays.
Yeah, the door opened slightly. And Mikey Lewis, of course, the reigning man of steel, scored 2 tries in his last outing in the Super League. 2 tries in the first 15 minutes for Hull KR. He broke the line, and it just rattled Hull KR. They were off script to touch.
Leigh, again, just struggling to get out of their own end at the moment. Adrian Lamb's side made a tough stuff. They showed that in round 1 with that amazing 1-0 win against Wigan. 2 players out of the defensive line here for the Robins as O'Neill makes it over the 30. And again, there are 2 defenders left on the ground, and Lamb's got a chance with the skill. Lets them down, forward pass, and well, they had the numbers there. A couple of times in that set, Barry, there were Hull KR defenders left on the ground.
They're determined to get some ruck speed on Leigh Leopards. And as soon as they got it, you can see Gareth O'Brien goes back to the short side. They had the numbers. And if the pass was accurate, that is a definite line break opportunity. I think it was Mikey Lewis who was left on the ground. And then as soon as that opportunity presents itself, that's the first marker that was down on the floor. This next one here is Mikey Lewis. He's slow to get into his position. There's no markers set. Yeah. Chances are going to be few and far between because they are so defensively sound, both of these 2 teams.
Here they go with Broadbent. Short pass to Davis. Nowhere to go. Good work from Bailey Hodgson. Made his Super League debut for Castleford against Hull Kingston Rovers a few years back. Right, Robins have got good position again. What can they do this time? Warrior Hargreaves runs it in. He's tackled 20 out from the line. McAlorum gets it away here now to Mincello, who finds May, just held on to it, bumps off the Pape, turns and goes again, looking to offload it, doesn't offload, he's still going here, gets it away to Gildart. Gildart tackled 12 out from the line, far side of the field. Burgess, not the best pass to May, just had to wait for it a little bit, and now the ball's short to Warrior Hargreaves, who's wrapped up again inside the 20. Last one here for the Robins. Lewis is waiting down the short side, but they're going to May now. Here is May on the ball, looking for a ball out the back. He's got it. Here's Gildart going for the line. He's in. Holly Gildart, a double against St Helens, and he opens the scoring here against his former club. And it's Holly Gildart who's in. Hull Kingston Rovers lead by 4 points to nil.
Doesn't he look good in 2025, Oliver Gildart? Looks a different player. Last year with a couple of injuries that just stunted his time here at Hull KR, but he's had a full pre-season. He looks fit, he looks healthy and energetic. All came from a mistake. The Leopards forward pass mistake, opportunity in good field position. It's not 100% slick, but he weighs it up perfectly, Oliver Gildart. It's all about execution in this part of the field. He has Jamila Hanley in his sights, desperately trying to get hold of him, Gildart. He does enough with a two-handed carry to interest both parties. Lovely stuff from the centre.
He's certainly starting to find his form now. The disappointment during the week of missing out on the grand final last year, and he's using that to spur himself on. Matthew Lewis with the kicking duties in the absence of Rhys Martin, and it's a tough opener for him. You have to say, based on where the game's been played in the opening 8 minutes, the Robins deservedly in front. Over on that terrace behind Mikey Lewis will let us know pretty quickly if this one's got a chance. Just has to reset the ball. What a great round of fixtures already, hasn't it? We had that wonderful game on Friday. St Helens beaten by Warrington, and last night the atmosphere at Headingley was rocking as Leeds beat Wigan.
Tipster's nightmare this weekend, isn't it?
He's not happy with the way the ball's sat on the tee. He's certainly taking his time, Mikey Lewis. Finally, he's ready. Will it be worth the wait? He's fallen on. He's having a nightmare. I think they're going to have to get someone to hold this.
It's just wobbling on that tee, and you've already mentioned the wind. Just comes from that open end, doesn't it? It's not quite sitting right on that tee.
Well, it's fallen off now 3 or 4 times, and he said, in your day, Barry, they'd have brought a cup of sand on for him.
Well, at one point they used to dig their heels in the turf, didn't they?
Groundsmen don't allow that now. Not allowed to do that.
Yes. Well, I remember a great player called Frano Boxer, who was a master of a mound of sand.
Tough kick, just got a little bit tougher, I think. Here he comes, sends it on the way. And it's pulled across the face of the post. Tough one to open up, but the Robins are in front, courtesy of that Gildart try.
It all came off the back of some terrific work in defence. There's real intent in what they do. Elliot Mincelli to Mikey Lewis. And then, as I say, a retreating defender, ball in 2 hands. Winger can't come in, otherwise he releases the pass and puts Joe Burgess over. Perfect execution.
Maybe Lamb looking on. They've had no ball to work with, really, the Leopards thus far, so they'll be hoping to force an error here from the Robins. Nice carry, but a good shot again. There's some good hits coming already here. Could play the ball though. Here goes Davis. Tackled by O'Neill. dummy half, gets it away. Here now goes Su.
He's got a lovely late step. So always hits a half gap, a half hole.
Here's Lewis looking at a possible 40-20, but Armstrong is back waiting, catches it on the foot, stumbles, but quickly back up on his feet.
Just look at the acceleration. He's different than a lot of the fullbacks in Super League. He catches it and he's immediately going north-south.
So quick. Good signing. They recruited really well. There's been a great deal of changes to this Leopards squad, but you have to say the new faces have fit in really well. It is an unbeaten start, as we said, for the Leopards so far.
Yeah, credit has to go to Adrian Lamb for the work he's doing with them on the pitch, and then Chris Chester in the background in that recruitment position.
Good job. Hughes just outside the 40 then. So it should be a little bit easier. There is Adrian looking on as O'Brien goes high. Now this is going to bounce. How will the bounce go? It's a beautiful bounce from Broadbent. And he's straight off down the field. No thought of running through them.
No, but it's just worth highlighting, Mark. 33, I think, 35 metres was made by Leigh Leopards whilst in possession, and that's that intensity, that line speed that suffocates teams when they come to Craven Park.
Short of the halfway line. Robbins in possession again. McAlorum waits. Gets it away to Su. He carts the ball forward, finds his front as well. It's a quick play of the ball. McAlorum gets it to Minchella. Minchella dummies, uses May. Gets it to Batchelor. This one then. McAlorum. Dummy half. Get the ball to Lewis, who's going to send this one high. A tester on the near side. Hodgson's going to want to let this bounce. That's risky. Bounces to Armstrong, who does so well to stay in the field of play. And he's tackled right on the corner flag.
A little bit of confusion there in the backfield. It was an accurate kick. And usually when you see Mikey Lewis put it high and hanging, Tyrone May isn't too far away chasing hard.
Tough meters here. Hodgson let it bounce. In some ways, they were lucky it went straight to Armstrong. Once again, Leigh append inside their own 20. They're struggling for meters here. Ball is carried by Tuntavaki. He's racked up right on the red line. 20 from his own line. He'll go to Lamb. Lamb goes high, and again the ball. Well, that isn't going to get over the halfway line. Caught on the full by Davis. Great tackle. Needed to be as well, but that win really is playing a big part in this opening half.
They're giving a penalty away there. Just trying to buy an extra second or two because the game's just started to get a little bit gassy for them. Spent a lot of time defending, a lot of time coming away from their own 20-30 metre zone. It's perfect game management from Hulkyard. They are well drilled, Willie Peters' team.
Yeah, they are indeed. Now the ball played here out the back. Good read from O'Brien. Shoots out the line, gets his man. And a good opportunity here for the Robins who move it wide. Here is the try scorer Gildart. He's racked up 15 away. Can the Robins extend their lead? So Aso Su feigns to pass but takes the carry forward. Calorum waits. Lewis to his left, Minchella to his right. Here is Minchella. Drops the ball back underneath, carried forward. Looking to offload it.
Oh, there wasn't much footwork there, was there?
No, right in front of the post. Split left and right. Here is May. May thought about passing the ball over the top. A little bit stop-start as Batchelor straightens things up. He's tackled. This is the last one. Leigh so far handled this situation pretty well. What can they do on the last? They're going back to Broadbent. Got the pass away. It's play on here. There could be an opportunity. But Leigh's defence holds firm right on the wide. What does it? Oh, they got that ball out. Leigh were waiting for tackle to be called held. Referee's going to have a look at this one and hand it upstairs. But on the field, it's a try for Hull Kingston Rovers. Let's find out.
Have a live call on field of a try. So we're just going into this because the referee is deeming this ball is offloaded backwards. look at another angle. See if this gives me anything. So you clearly see the ball there. It's then on the floor. So that's both the Hull KR man's hands. So we're just deeming on it. Is it backwards? Because there's no steal, because there's no Leigh hands near there. Right, it's then now. What does that hit on the floor? And is it picked up cleanly? So you can clearly see at that bit. From there, I have a live call of a try. Does the hand hit the hand there and then it go to ground? See if this gives me anything clearer. You can clearly see him going in. And the ball's in his right hand, so he's offloading it backwards, which he does. It misses his left hand, which means he's got a finger tape on, so that is play on. Now does Lewis pick this ball up cleanly? I've got a camera A. That's not going to show me anything because the ball is clearly on the other side. So it's gone in here. Is it picked up cleanly from there? So the ruling on field is it is backwards, and you can clearly see it has gone out backwards. From that angle, which is the clearest, the ball is picked up cleanly by Lewis, and there's no evidence or sufficient evidence for me to overturn this call on the fact that there is a knock-on. So we're playing on because there is no sufficient evidence to show that. So if you can go nice and slowly to the grounding on this angle, and we pause it there. Thank you. I've now made my decision.
Well, we get there in the end. The ball played backwards by Minchella, and Mikey Lewis in the right place at the right time. And it's going to be a second try for Hull Kingston Rovers. And all of a sudden now, their dominance is turning into points here. Second try. And it's Mikey Lewis who's on the ball for the Rovers.
Well, full credit to Elliot Minchella. He never gives up on getting that ball away. It was somewhere in between a nutmeg and a rugby union present. But he manages to find a way to squeeze that ball out. And Mikey Lewis, as he does whenever he takes the rugby league field, wants the ball. He wants to cross that try line, loves scoring tries for his beloved Hull KR. And that's the second of the afternoon. Great stuff.
Well, this kick should be all the more straightforward than his first effort. But he's not going to hang around this time. Strikes it confidently between the uprights, and the Rovers lead by 10 points to nil here. Mikey Lewis with a second try. We say to the crowd, come on, give us a bit more.
Get it, ball. Scoring tries for his beloved Hull KR. And that's the second of the afternoon. Great stuff.
Well, this kick should be all the more straightforward than his first effort. But he's not going to hang around this time. Strikes it confidently between the uprights, and the Rovers lead by 10 points to nil here. Mikey Lewis with a second try. We say to the crowd, come on, give us a bit more. Get involved, and they respond.
They'll appreciate their attitude in defence. And although it's a scruffy offload, let's be honest, they all count. It doesn't matter. It goes to hand. Mikey Lewis scores under the black dot, but it's coming off the back of some intent, some aggression, and hard work when it comes to the defensive part of the game. Really restricting the Leopards. They can't gain any metres. They haven't got over 30 metres with ball in hand more than once or twice.
Yeah. Come the Robins then. Davis plays the ball. McAlore and finds Sue. Start then for the home side here. 10 points to the good. Inside the opening 15 minutes. Hadley fighting to try and get an arm free. Oh, now another penalty. The Leopards just spoiling themselves again, and this is not helping their cause.
You can see what's happening, can't you? They're running hard, finding the front, playing the ball at will. The Hull KR players, when they've got ball in hand, the Leigh Leopards are trying to slow it down, gain some control. And you can't do that on the floor. You've got to do it before the player hits the ground. Good offload.
Here is Lewis, gets it away. Now there's a chance for Gildar. Had Burgess outside, didn't use him on that occasion. They're 15 metres away here. And the Robins on a roll, looking for a third score. Lewis fires it to May. May goes out the back to Broadbent. Broadbent with a dummy. I think he's realised there was a possible obstruction there, so he just takes the tackle. Had he gone through the gap, that would have been penalised, I'm sure. As McAlorum gets it away to Minchella. Here's Sue, wraps it up. Good carry, good tackle as well. 10 away now. Willie Peters' side looking for more points. They're coming to the right. They've got numbers here. Broadbent gets it away to Hiku. Hiku tackle, good tackle as well. It needed to be from Hodgson. Release it now. Good one-on-one tackle. Davis pass, a loopy one. Broadbent gets it. Where Hargreaves offloads to McAlorum. Finds Minchella. Here now is Lewis. He's putting the kick in. It's just too strong. It was on. But he put too much juice on the boot. And it goes dead for a 20-metre 7-tackle restart.
Well, great communication. Probably not verbal, just body language and gestures. And although that kick wasn't accurate enough, you could see that both players knew what the other one wanted and needed and almost got it right.
That's a good carry. Cassignou drives it forward up to the 40. What can the Leopards do? The Pape out of dummy half. They're up to the halfway line. Finally, into Robins territory they go. New with a second run. Up to the 40. A set ball in hand for the Leopards. The Pape to Lamb. Back inside here on the angle for Hughes. Keeps it alive. Gets it to an edge. Here's O'Neill. Barges his way forward. Fights his way up to the 30. And Pape now looking. Finds O'Brien back on the inside. They were waiting for him there. Leo gets the ball away. Here now is Armstrong. Oh, was that a dangerous tackle? No, it wasn't. Last one. They're going short side with O'Brien. Just floats up a kick. Burgess gets off the ground, catches it, and then drops it. Well, that was risky. He had his hands above his head, and he didn't come up with the ball.
It was almost like he knew what he wanted to do. He didn't really need to use that technique of catching it above his head. There was nobody around him. You can argue that Ethan O'Neill may well have taken his focus away, but he'd usually get that right. And credit the defender, credit the efforts of Ethan O'Neill.
Well, the Leopards have had no good ball, and all of a sudden they're presented here with a brilliant opportunity to hit back with points of their own. Well, they're planning. Armstrong has peeled away to the right, and that's where they're going. Just had to wait for the pass, but we're not happy with the scrum, so we'll reform it and go again. We've seen this more and more now, Barry, aren't we? Fullbacks are almost standing directly in line with the scrum and choosing where they're going late. This time he's come to the left, ball to Tessignou. Just takes it in, takes the tackle, 10 out. Can the Leopards score their first points here at Soul Group Craven Park? Tavaki drives it forward. Pape waits at dummy half. Lamb is short side, but it's a decoy. He goes down to Leo, gets it away to O'Brien. Here's O'Neill. Tackle. 8 away from the line. Pape. Leo gets it away now to Lamb. Lamb to Armstrong. Armstrong gets the pass away here. Chance for Hodgson. Was he tackled? Was he tackled? And has he got it over the line in a legal fashion? No try, says Liam Moore. But did his ball carrying arm hit the ground? Let's find out. And then he promotes the ball to get to the line, please, Ben.
Just going to watch it in full speed straight away. Right, so we're looking at this for a double movement. So we watch it in full speed. Now let's just go closely because he's near to the touchline as well. He's not in touch. He's not in touch. And we go there. And if you look at that, there is clearly a player on him. And then he promotes the ball. I'm going to go back and watch it in full speed again. It's paused and then there is a second movement. Thank you, I've now made my
assist. Obvious to most of us that was a double movement. But let's credit Tyrone May, confident enough on his try line. Scrubbed away. It's the first time they've looked anywhere near threatening the try line. Just about entering to the second quarter of this game.
Well there, Lewis, to get as many metres out of that kick as he could. Frustration for the Leopards coaching staff. It's a halfway point of the first half. Here now is Bachelor. So short pass to Hadley there, Pony's out the back there as well. And they've gone to Lewis. Here now is Minchella, finds May. May's got Broadbent with him. Broadbent will misplaced pass. Picked up by Davis. Worse for Rovers there. Ball now, Murray Hargreaves runs it forward. Tackled by former Roosters teammates. High kick downfield, floats on the wind. Armstrong sets himself, catches it, and immediately looks to counter. And he's tackled just inside his own 20.
And he has a red and white wall. As soon as he catches that ball, not only did they put pressure on the kicker, they get on their bike and get down there as quick as they can in that kick chase fashion.
Pape has got Bachelor offside. Bachelor didn't make the tackle. Just starting to grow into this with ball in hand. Now they're going to get a penalty for a high tackle. You see Matt Davis coming onto the field. He replaces Alec Tuitavaki. And another chance here for Leigh. We're under the pump early on, Barry, but they're growing into this one.
Yeah, they're going to get some more field position. They'll hopefully want to do a little bit better. Bailey Hodgson, when he gets near that try line again, he did a wonderful job of evading a defender. Gave the penalty away. Now they've got time to settle. They've got time to leave it in the control of Gareth O'Brien and Lachlan Lamb to construct something.
Play waits, centre field, finds Lamb. Lamb, good step, gets it away to Hughes. Hughes pushes his way up to the 20. Release! Hughes comes in and plays the ball. He'll get it to Lamb. Lamb just drops it back for Davis. Davis carried. 15 out. He's put to ground. The Leopards breach the Robins defence. Leo gets it away now. Here's O'Brien who's kicked it by Dean Hadley. And handball there. And now Pape, not the best pass. Bounces, picked up by Armstrong who's knocked it on. More frustration for the Leopards, and that's all about the poor pass from the dummy half position.
It's great signs for your team. Hulk out as they celebrate a defensive win. The default setting is to put all their energy into the little bits. That's great contact, perfectly legal, hits right around the ball, lifts Gareth O'Brien off his feet. But their default setting is, let's defend hard, let's get up, put pressure, force mistakes, and do it as a unit. We said before the kick-off, Mark, Leigh Leopards have a few players missing, and it's a real shame.
Yeah. Castleford Hull live on Thursday night, Sky Sports Action, followed by Leigh Wakefield, Sky Sports Plus on Friday night. Also on Fridays, Warrington against Leeds. Then on Saturday, the Dragons take on Saints, 5:40 Sky Sports Plus. On Sunday, Huddersfield against Hawkinson Rovers also on Sky Sports Plus. As is Wigan against Salford. Those are your round 6 fixtures. Top of the pile going into round 6. It looks at the minute as though it will be Hull Kingston Rovers. Big shot goes in there. Trying to pitch the ball. Owen Trout, last one. Going to have to kick from inside their own half. A high kick. Armstrong will come forward to collect it. Catches it on the full. Looks looks to skip across and thinks twice about the pass and takes his tackle. Once again, the Rovers, you have to say, so far, Barry, they're getting their kicks away and they're containing Leigh Leopards in their own end of the field.
A kick's only ever as good as its chase, and that energy that they show within that chase means that it's virtually impossible to gain those metres. David Armstrong has 4 or 5 players in front of him all the time. Ulkiar have rotated. Front rows,
That's Tessie New got lucky here. I thought he planted the ball down and, well, he's got a penalty for it, but looks a scruffy play of the ball, this.
Such a big man, makes metres after contact virtually every time he carries the ball. He finds his front, and when he's trying to get up to play the ball, do you know what, Mark? I'm going to go with you. I didn't think it on first glance, but the more you watch it...
It's just the way he put the ball down, but as you said, he's an aggressive runner of the ball, is he? He's been a great asset already to the Leopards. Look forward to seeing him when the grounds really do firm up in the Super League. Pape then. So all of a sudden, Leigh getting more territory down this end of the field. What can they do with it this time? Run from Hanley. Liu gets it away to Lamb. Lamb short to Hughes. I think Lamb saw Hiku race out of the line there and he wanted to go with a short pass. Pape. Liu. O'Brien. O'Neill. Tackle. Tanganoa's on from the bench. Well, they're knocking on the door again, and Pape goes short side to O'Brien. O'Brien through one. Meets her short of the line. Lamb waits at first receiver. Is he going to roll the kick in? He is. It bounced beautifully for May, and May's off. And May sidesteps his way past Armstrong. Gets it all. Davis puts it down, and he knows if he takes that, it's an 80-metre race to the try line. Davis, his eyes lit up, but he forgot to catch the ball.
It's distraught, isn't it? It's beautiful work, wonderful positioning from Tyrone May. The way that he plays the game, he's always going to throw that pass. It doesn't matter where he is on the field. Has a freedom and a courage when he's got the ball in his hands that mean that things come off for him. Tom Davis, who scored tries in his last 4 games for Hull KR, saw, I'm sure, his 5th.
He's pretty angry. Willie Peters looks on. He never gives us a lot, does he, Willie? He's always the same, whether they're winning or losing. Here's O'Brien. Well, the Robins are in front here, but the last 10-15 minutes has seen a bit of a change around in how this game is playing out. Here is Trout, racked up. 15 away. Liu, short pass. Gets it away. Nice offload from the ground. Here now is O'Brien. Says to O'Neill, just settle things up. 10 metres out from the line there. The Leopards still await their first points. Are they coming here? O'Brien finds Lamb, fires it to Tessie New. Good tackle there. Good tackle, Hiku. Had to be. Scruffy play the ball as Hiku is in the way, but he gets out of the way. Armstrong finds Lamb, who finds it Pape. And Pape now drops it back for Davis, who turns and spins his way back to the 10-metre line. Last tackle. It away. Here now is O'Brien. O'Brien's going to get tackled with ball in hand, and look at that. Back-to-back sets again, and a roar goes round this stadium as the red and whites pat themselves on the back for another job well done defensively.
And again, a real connection between players and crowd here, Mark. The crowd are appreciating the effort that the players are putting in whilst they're having to defend their own line. And right on cue, Red Robin bellowing out on the terraces.
Sorry, big shot in there from Trout on Davis. And now it's Tanganoa. Oh, Trout is going hunting at the moment.
Jez Litton is on for KR now. You bet when he gets an opportunity, he's out and going.
Yeah, well, this is the last one, so we'll get it away to Lewis, who's going to send it high. It's going to float on the wing. Hodgson and Armstrong both going for it. Well done, Hodgson. That was a superb catch. And he'll have had Armstrong looming large in his vision there, but that was a heck of a catch.
Wicked kick high. twisting and turning. Here we go, more defence. Looking for that sideline. Jez Litton has replaced Michael McAlorum. He starts the game, McAlorum. When the game starts to break open, they introduce Jez Litton and he tries to rip them to bits.
To the 40. Right in with a tackle.
James, get back.
Here now is O'Brien. Finds O'Neill. Short pass. Good pass. Hanley's away. He's got support on his outside. He's got it on his inside. He doesn't use either of them. He had Armstrong as well. Wonderful tackle from Broadbent. Here goes Armstrong. Finds Lamb. He's lost it. And the Robbins line survives again. But Amila Hanley almost had too many options.
What an opportunity. A line break for you, Mila Hanley over on the right side. You're correct. He has one left, one right. Doesn't know which one to go at. Thinks I'll take it myself. And Jack Broadbent manages to get hold of Mila Hanley and Leigh Leopards then surrender possession.
Hanging on to that 0 alongside the Leigh name. Here now is a chance for Broadbent. He's upended. Half an hour gone here. And it's still 10 points to 0. And the Robins on the last tackle. High kick again. This is a spiral. You can hear. How easy did he make that look, Armstrong?
Yeah, and again, if you're a Leigh Leopards player, you're going to be getting the message soon. Take some time away from Mikey Lewis. Don't stand back, watch and appreciate how difficult those kicks are. Because that kick, the stress that the fullback catches the ball, leads to this element of the game where it's line speed and control.
Well-judged kick, wasn't it, from Lewis? Not only the height and the swirl on it, but where it came down on the field.
But he had all the time in the world to do whatever he wanted at the end of the set of 6.
He did.
Mikey, get back!
Ryan puts the ball away to Davis. He's 30 off his own line. It's at a premium so far as Lamb kicks downfield. Broadbent catches on the full and he's up towards the halfway line. He'll play it right on the halfway line. I think Willie Peters will be a little bit disappointed with how the latter part of this first half has panned out, because for 15 minutes it was all Hull Kingston Rovers. But credit Leigh, they've hit back, but they just haven't put any points on the board.
Mark, I know why you would say that, but Leigh would always get some field position, some possession. I think Willie Peters will be delighted with his team's attitude whilst that was happening, that they managed to defend.
Set restart as well, that will help the Robins. And now is Minchella, short pass.
Move straight on, Willie!
Jez Litton, a completely different proposition to McAlorum in that dummy half roll. Here's Hanley, all open, opened up in front of him. And he tried to pass it, and eventually he passed it forward, and that was an opportunity that's gone begging there.
Yeah, the support was the wrong side. Dean Hadley manages to find himself half a break, half a line break, and just can't find the support. Ball in 2 hands, show and go. He's trying to find Mikey Lewis, who's behind him.
Couldn't get it there. Dean Hadley, what a signing he's proven to be. With the cross-city switch here. Here now is Lamb. Finds O'Brien, who gets it to Armstrong. It's tackled once from again. And again, Leigh not got out of their own 30-metre line.
22 metres they made with ball in hand there. Look at that ball. Joe Burgess is going to go straight on the attack. Good teams absorb pressure. They handle what their opposition throws at them. They come back, strike back and get points on the board.
Here's Davis. Over halfway. We're going to get any more points in this first half of this game. A couple of tight games, haven't we? Saints Warrington on Friday, Leeds Wigan last night. Here's Lewis, finds Kalepi Tanganoa, who almost burst through the line. Litton finds Minchella. Short pass to Whitbread. Whitbread rolls off one. Tackle 15 away. Plays it quickly. Last tackle. Litton finds Minchella. He's got Lewis with him. Lewis dummies, goes alone. Offloads it. What a try! Tagging on there to finish it off. But Mikey Lewis, the magician, strikes again. When it looked like he was going to ground, he offloads the ball. And Tanganoa has a third Robins try.
Outstanding work from Mikey Lewis, but again, he'll credit Elliot Minchella's involvement. Puts a play on the right, reloads over to the left, and provides a valuable link to give Mikey Lewis a retreating defensive line. Goes over to this left side. Minchella, early ball to Mikey Lewis, who gives a delightful one-handed offload to Tanganoa. Comes on off the bench, rotated when those two front rowers went off. Tanganoa, one of the replacements, intelligently moves from the outside back to the inside as a support player and gets a simple 4, maybe 6 points. And that's what I was saying, Mark. They've absorbed pressure. Leigh have thrown a little bit at them, even managed to get over the line with that double movement. Bailey Hodgson, try no try, but what they've done is they've answered back in some fashion, haven't they?
We've played with some special players in your career, Barry. How excited would the Robins be to be playing around this fella, Mikey Lewis, at the moment?
Great players want the ball in the hands. All the fantastic players that I managed to play with always commanded and dominated possession, and when things happened, it's because they had their hands on the ball. Everybody just takes half a step and pauses, and then things open up for those great players, those wonderful players. And Mikey Lewis, with the reputation that he's got, he's already on everybody's tip sheet during the week. They'll work around how they're going to put pressure on him, how they're going to take his main assets and strengths away from him, and he still turns up and delivers what he delivers every week.
Yeah. Here's the kick then. Strikes it. And it is 16 points to nil here.
Let's have a look at the Leigh Leopards. The one line break that could have resulted in a try. Umila Hanley with an option on his right, an option on his left. But is it poor attack, or is it desperation for the Hull KR players to get back, make themselves available and keep that defensive line intact? I think it's the second.
Here's Hadley. Disappointed with that. Willie Peters will be a little bit happier now. Danny Ward to his side. Well, there you're going to be the coaching duo that leads this club back to silverware. Here's Hiku. Held down. Hughes is furious, and Leigh have got to be careful here, Barry, because another try in the next 3 minutes, and all of a sudden this is getting a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, it's gone from 10-0 and Leigh having a look and trying to apply a little bit of pressure to 16-0. 3 or 4 minutes left, more than enough time for another try.
It is. Here's Broadbent, finds Tanganoa, bumps off one, still going the big fella, couldn't get a pass away. Danger looming now as Litton gets it away to Hadley. Hadley is tackled by Pape just outside the 20. It's a real big period here. League leaders, Hull Kingston Rovers, looking to extend their lead. Plenty of hands here. Here goes Hiku. Tessie New brings him down. And they're 10 away here, the Robins. Release down! Ball works its way to Lewis. Back now to Whitbread. Whitbread 10 out, centre field. Marker down. Here's Litton out at dummy half. Litton had runners outside him, but opted to take the tackle. He'll fall to the floor, 3 away. Minchella waits. Last one, they'll fire it to May. May with a step, cutting back against the grain. Can he get the pass away? Does. It's hacked forwards. But it's a knock on. Maybe not the end to the set that Hull KR needed there.
I won't mind that at don't think. There's an accidental offside. Leigh Leopards. Leigh Leopards are going to get... I don't know who Leo is. Leigh Leopards are going to get the ball back. Minutes to go to half-time, but I know we obviously we talk in glowing terms about Mikey Lewis's involvements, but the man in your screen there, the number 13, puts in a hefty shift in defence, and then he's always a valuable link in the attacking line as well, Elliot Vincella.
Super League appearance, but far more than that in the Championship. He's learned his trade.
Really values the full-time environment, never takes it for granted, and all those lessons he learned in the Championship, trying to make his way back to Super League, stand him in good stead now.
All over the top, finds its way out on that far side to Keenan Brown. Up over on that far touchline side. Ball now back to Lamb, aims downfield. Burgess retreats to catch it on the 40. Looks up. Last set of the half here then for the Robins. Is there a late strike? This tackle just short of the halfway line. Litton finds Batchelor. Batchelor inside the Leigh half.
Release!
Maybe 2 tackles left if time allows. Here now, May finds Lewis. Danger here. Quick hands, Burgess. Burgess is away. Kicks over the top for Lewis. More magic from Mikey. Burgess with a kick. Lewis with a finish. Is that the killer blow? They're going to check it. But if this stands, the Robins will be 20 points in front.
Try, so just checking onside, offside first of all, and if we pause it there, you can clearly see that the ball is well in front of the line, and at the point it's on the foot. Both attackers to the right hand side are clearly onside, so we're going to bring it on from here. Just going to go to the grounding. Nice and slow on this. It's in his right hand. Keep going. Pause it there. Can't see the ball's down. Just want to check his feet are in the field of play. I know it was down on the other side. And there we are. Thank you. I've now made my decision.
There you go. Mikey Lewis. Kick. They rolled the dice late in the half. Great play down that left-hand side. It's a great kick from Burgess, and who else but Mikey Lewis there to finish it off. And this has been a damaging opening 40 minutes for the Leigh Leopards. Their unbeaten run is under severe threat now. 20 points to nil.
Well, it doesn't matter who you support. Everybody appreciates good rugby league. A break over on that left side. Joe Burgess finds himself in open space. Mikey Lewis stays moving, gestures with his body language. He wants the ball kicked back inside, arms up, screaming for it, and it lands right in his bread basket. He loves it, doesn't it? It's contagious when you play with players like that. Who want the ball, who love scoring tries, love the day's work.
Can he add another 2 to the tally? Last kick of the half. And Lewis looking to deliver another 2 points. Strikes it, and it goes straight through the middle. The half that started and ended with a duo of Hull Kingston Rovers tries. Gildart got them off and running inside the opening 7 minutes, but Mikey Lewis with a double around Kalepi Tanganoa's effort. And at half-time, it's a very happy Soul Group Craven Park. Mikey Lewis fans are delighted at the break. It's Hull Kingston Rovers 22, Leigh Leopards 0.
Featured on the Dreamcast in 1998. Still feeling rather...
You can enjoy every single game live right here on Sky Sports. That's a great shot there. Great tackle. This is getting fiery now. Magic Mikey strikes again. Individual brilliance from a special player in Bevan Trench. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be a blockbuster.
Rugby league, truly the greatest sport on the planet. Sky Sports will once again show every game of the Men's Super League live this season, including 2 matches in each round, exclusively live with the remaining 4 on Sky Sports Plus. Next week, it is Castleton against Hull. Sky Sports action on Thursday night at 8, followed by Leigh against Wakefield and Warrington against Leeds. That game also on Sky Sports action on Friday. Saturday sees Catalan take on St Helens, Sky Sports Plus 5:30, and on Sunday we've got a double header at 3 o'clock as Huddersfield take on Hull Kingston Rovers and Wigan take on Salford. Both those games are live on Sky Sports Plus. Final game around 5 then is at the halfway point, and it is advantage to the league leaders. Hull Kingston Rovers leading courtesy of 4 first half tries. The Leopards yet to score. Good first half for the Robins. Barry McDermott.
What a magnificent first 40 for Hull. Unreal effort in defence. And when it's come time to play with the ball, execution has been perfect. Oliver Gildart opened up proceedings for the home team. Ball in 2 hands. So defenders aren't sure whether he's going to run or pass. He gets the first try of the game. Whenever it looked slick, it worried the Leigh Leopards on that occasion. It was anything but slick. Scruffy, to say the least, and Elliot Minchella with all the determination in the world to get the ball out, make it available, gives Mikey Lewis his first of the afternoon. Good work, good effort. And Mikey Lewis with a big smile on his face, dabs down for his first. Well, the Leigh Leopards, their opportunities have been few and far between. Yamila Hanley, who's in great try-scoring form so far in 2025, makes the break. They can't convert, and after absorbing all that pressure, as all good teams do, Hull go down the other end of the field and through magic Mikey Lewis, get over the whitewash again. Tanganoa fresh onto the field, changes from left to right as a support player and gets his try. Just before we went into half-time, this is wonderful skill. Joe Burgess over on the left, kicks the ball with his right foot into the path, almost like a pass into Mikey Lewis. Well, Mikey Lewis's fingerprints have been all over that first 40 minutes, but for me, all the attack, all the opportunities have come out of an intensity in defence that few teams in Super League can match.
Yeah, well, it has been a very impressive first 40 minutes. Look at that, 90% against 68%. And those meters, there's a big difference there. Not actually that much difference in tackles made either. So the scoreboard and the completion rate firmly in favour of Robin.
The completion rate is impressive, obviously, because it means they're getting to the back end of the sets. But they are moving the ball about. There's offloads, there's ball movement. It just, for me, emphasises the fact that the skill and the accuracy on Hull KR is far superior to Leigh Leopards.
Well, big 40 minutes to come for the Leopards. Can they turn it around here? It's looking pretty tough. Those Robins fans will certainly be hoping for more of the same. The second half is live and it's coming next. Roger Millward stand that looks down on this pitch here. The unretired, the number 6 shirt here at Hull Kingston Rovers that Roger Millward famously wore to give it to Mikey Lewis, and Lewis is repaying that in spades. What a first half from him. Had a hand in everything, including a couple of tries for himself. 22 points to nil. But the job not yet done. Most fans in red and white will be hoping for more points in the second half as Rovers look to extend their lead at the top.
It is an amazing time to be a Hull Kingston Rovers fan, and I was in the city last night, and every fan of this great club told me that's how much they think of him. They said it's brilliant. The only thing that takes the shine off where we are in the league at the minute is that Hull FC are in third. So not only do they want to thrive, they want their near neighbours and bitter rivals to suffer. But both teams in the city doing magnificently well.
Yeah, the top three. It's been a while since we could say that about the two clubs in this rugby-mad city. Another huge crowd, another capacity crowd here, lapping it up at Silver Craven Park. What will Adrian Lamb be saying in the opposition sheds at half-time, do you think?
It's really difficult to handle OKR. They've got to take some time away from Michael Lewis, especially when he's trying to put those high-hanging kicks in. They've got to try and get some dominance at the play of the ball. When they've got ball in hand, a little bit more intent in your carry. When you're defending, control the speed of the play of the ball. Don't allow OKR to play it at will as they have done in that first 40 minutes. But you have to say it's a really dominant OKR performance. They do so many things right at this club. It's a magnificent match day experience. Look over to Craven Street on our right. People are enjoying their afternoon. Live music, food, drinks. World-class rugby league. What's more in life can you be happy about? There you go. And I've tasted a few of those. There you are. Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Any recommendations, Buzz?
Patty butties and chip spice.
Fair enough.
And Archie Morgan was introduced to the crowd, was asked had he tried that particularly culinary delicacy. He didn't know what it was. I didn't know, to be fair, but I know it's fried.
There's the man of the moment, Mikey Lewis. Can Lachlan Lamb return serve in this second half? Big 40 minutes to come for the Leopards. They trail Hull Kingston Rovers 22 points to nil at the break. The wind will be in the Leopards' favour in this second half. But can they produce the skills to break down this Robins defence? As it stands, Rovers will be opening up a gap at the top. 5 rounds in.
Well, Mikey Lewis, in the trade, we'd say he's a unit. Adrian Lamb will want his side to get some field position. They've hardly had a look at the line of Hull KR, and when the Robins have been down that end of the field through Mikey Lewis's involvements, they've come away with points.
Lachlan Lamb had a few words of advice, I'm sure, from his father Adrian as we get underway. The wind, well, Tessie knew there, completely took his eye off the ball. He forgot about the wind, and Rovers get the ball straight back. What a disastrous start to the second half for the Leigh Leopards there. Tessie New was looking around, waiting for the ball to land 10 yards further down, and it bounced to the side of him.
I think that's what you class as local knowledge, isn't it? Or a lack of it.
Here is Lewis. Drops it back for Whitbread. Well, if they score again here, Hull Kingston Rovers, it's not a question of whether they win, it's how many they win by. What a start for them, a real bonus as Minchella drops it back to Hadley. Hadley thought about the offload, held on to it in the end. And now Jez Litton waits. Fires the pass to Minchella. He's got bodies outside him, but they lay the line with Whitbread. Tackled 8 metres away. This is the last one. Litton has got Lewis to his left, but he's going to have a run himself. He fires it here, little play. Now they get it away. They've got numbers. Ball dropped by Leigh, and it's going to be another set of 6. Had the pass been on the money, it was a strolling.
There were too many options for Hull KR.
Here's Davis. Litton gets it to Whitbread, taken off his feet. Good shot from O'Neill. Big defensive stand needed here as Lytton gets it to Lewis. They've got numbers. Lewis though went alone. Tackled a couple of metres out from the line. You know, May gets it away to Broadbent. This time he gets it to Hiku. Great tackle. Wonderful tackle from Tessie New. Rovers asking questions at the moment. Leigh have got all the answers. Here's May again. Out the back to Broadbent. Broadbent jumps underneath the tackle, but he's tackled 3 yards out from the line. Last one. Here's May again. Fires it at Hadley. And that was never going to be taken by the back rower. And fair play to Leigh. Could have been a nightmare start to the second half, but they managed to keep their line intact.
Got away with it. Dean Hadley's probably in the wrong hole. Expected to be probably a channel further, swimming channel further out. That pass was not meant for him. Here's the strength of the wind. And you're right, he's looking anywhere but where the ball is, isn't it? Tessie knew. He won't do that again, I don't think. Never turn your back on the ball.
Oh, here he is, though, getting an offload away. That was nice. Tackle made just shy of the halfway line. Here it is, the offload, brilliant hands. Now is Leo.
Move, James!
Managed to keep him quiet so far today. Here now is Lamb, gets it away to Armstrong, finds New on that far side. He's going to be wrapped up and dumped to the ground on the 5th tackle. Can the Leopards strike first in the second half? They're coming up down the short side. O'Brien's again too strong.
Again, just smothering in defence. Good teams use defence as a weapon, and that's what Hull KR do. They take all the time and space away from Leigh when they get to the back end, so it's a mucky, clumsy kick when it eventually gets put in. They're dangerous when they have the ball, obviously they are. My word, they're dangerous when they haven't got the ball and they're defending.
There's a good defensive effort there. Now is that Lewis who's just injured?
Surrender!
He's just, yeah, I think he's injured his shoulder here.
Yeah,
well, that is a very, very worrying sign. Hopefully it's just an impact injury rather than anything else. He's staying out there anyway. Thumbs up from the physio.
Move! Upper square, boys, hold!
Can't afford to be without him too often, the Robins. Nice one, up to the 30 here. Now they need a good kick. Here is Lewis. He's going to kick low. It's decent distance on it. Brand will be there to retrieve it from his own 20. And he's up and over the 30. Not a bad kick return from Brand, but I think they'll be pretty happy with that Hull KR there. They've got out of their own end and they managed to get a decent enough kick away.
Yeah, I'm just still watching Mikey Lewis, just making sure he's okay. He seems to just be shaking his arm. It might just be one of those joint things, those AC joints that are a little bit uncomfortable for a moment or two.
Yeah, could be the case. Here come the visitors then through the middle. Lewis Brogan is wrapped up. Papaya will get it away. Here now is Lamb. Lamb gets it out now to Hughes. Hughes inside the 30. Goes to ground. It's slack on the here. Cloudy and quite cool now here at Craven Park. Ball going through the hands. Armstrong gets it away to Hagley. This time he finds Brand. Brand thinking about the kick. Not sure that was the right option, and they couldn't take it in. Hanley's knocked it on. And once again, they're just losing their way a little bit here. I think the Rovers defend, you mentioned the word earlier, smothering them. And it's just cramping them, isn't it, at the moment?
Even when they have the overlap, there is that much of a concerted effort. There's that much desperation to get where the ball is. All those options, because you're in the clear, suddenly evaporate.
Move down! Hold!
Can. What he's doing from here. Here's Tanganoa. Gift wrap trying the first half, courtesy of that Lewis offload. Half a break there from Hiku.
Change of direction, he gets through contact.
He's Whitbread to the halfway line.
Move down against score markers!
Peters looking on, a job so far well done. Here's Hiku, bumps one off. He's wrapped up on the last. Litton, yet to see him explode out of dummy half. Gets it away to Lewis. Lewis aims the kick downfield. Armstrong backpedals, catches it 5 off his own line. And Chella makes the tackle, and Leigh once again have got to come out of their own 20-metre line.
They're very comfortable at the minute, aren't they, Hull KR? They're going through the process, getting to the back end of the set, putting it high kick in, allowing that kick chase team to try and stump those metres. And it's going much to the formula and format that the Robins want. They've got to try something different, haven't they? The Leopards might have to start forcing the issue, forcing an offload, just try and disrupt this defensive dominance that Hull KR have at the minute.
Over the halfway line here, O'Brien will kick downfield. Broadbent sits back, catches it on the full. He looks up, what's his options? Comes forward now, and he's tackled 20 off his own line.
Stand! 110 boys, hold!
Burgess going for a run. Thought about the offload and up to the ground by Hughes.
We're just coming up for 48 minutes. It's the first time in the entire game where it's just flattened a little bit, isn't it? I wonder whether that's just the flattening of the self-belief of Leigh Leopards.
They're up to the 40 here. Hughes starting to look for more of the ball, isn't he, in this last couple of sets. Here's Broadbent again. Halfway line. Litton finds Lewis. Lewis is just going to poke the kick over the top. Invites the chase. Armstrong is there to get it.
That's a great kick. Perfectly weighted. Perfect distance. Measured kick. Knew exactly what he wanted from the fullback once he caught it. And they just try and crank up that pressure. Crowd gets behind. They're in the starting blocks. The line speed gets quicker. And it's just impossible for Leigh to do anything about it at the minute.
It certainly is. Pape at dummy half. He's been quiet by his high standards. Here's Lamb, short pass, finds Hughes. Hughes is looking to promote the ball, can't get it away. There's a Pape now. Short of the halfway line. Davis jumps in at dummy half, gets it away to Lamb. Lamb outside the 40, kicks across the field. Burgess will come across, but the ball bounces kindly instead for Broadbent. He looks up, there's a wall of blue in front of him. And the tackle made on the 20 again as Lewis jumps in at dummy half. And here goes Gilder.
Right, you're right to mention Edwin and Pape, the number 9 for Leigh. He's hardly done anything in the game, but he hasn't been allowed to jump out from dummy half when he's tried to put some of those big shots in because they're under fatigue, and they have been for most of the game. Leigh, he's not been half as effective. He looks a little bit laboured now. Looks right at the back end of his stint as you'd imagine Brad Dwyer is going to come on imminently.
That time Litton did get a burst on, but was brought down just over halfway. Here is Lewis again. This time he's going aerial. Kicks towards the post. Armstrong underneath it, catches it, has a look. And then once again just sees a wall of white shirts. He's not had a sniff of a gap yet, has he?
No, not at all. It's that attention to detail that Willie Peters, when he reviews this game, we've a long way to go yet, just less than half an hour, but he'll look at phases of the game like this and say, this is what I want from you boys. Yeah. When it gets quick, when it gets intense, stick with the process.
Well, they've only conceded 2 tries in their last 3 games, Hull Kingston Rovers. They nilled Salford, they nilled Oldham in the cup, and then they conceded 2 at Saints last week. To concede here, but they're hoping to keep that intact as Hanley's got nowhere to go. He's wrapped up on the last one. O'Brien stands at first receiver. He will put the kick across the field. It's a swirling kick, but it's gathered by Davis. He brings it forward. This is what's coming up. It's a big month ahead for Hull Kingston Rovers. They go to Huddersfield next Sunday. Themselves a penalty here. They go to Huddersfield, and look at that. Hull in the cup, Wigan at home, Hull in the league on Good Friday, and then they go to Leeds. That is some run of games for the Robins.
expecting to win, home or away, obviously. It's a wonderful place to come and watch and play rugby league if you're lucky enough to wear that shirt. And they're doing so many things this afternoon well. High standard.
Yeah, Roy Hargreaves back into the action, looking to get himself involved in this one.
He was good in his first in.
Here now is Minchella, big step, tries to go through the gap, edges his way, gets the late offload, finds Litton, who finds Broadbent. Broadbent gets it away to Batchelor. Batchelor just can't get it out. They had numbers again there, the Robins. They're threatening again to add to their lead. Here's Litton. Litton gets it to May, back to Minchella. Minchella straight up, goes through the gap. Ball then juggled on the ground by O'Brien. I think it was a forward pass anyway. Could Minchella not have scored himself there?
I think he had the ambition, obviously had the ambition. I think he had the right. His arm was free. He had a supporting voice from Hadley.
One more step and he's over.
And I have said it, Mikey Lewis, we appreciate what he does with a ball, but I just want everybody to watch how many involvements Elliot Minchella has, whether it's with the ball, first receiver, second receiver, offloading the ball, his footwork, his balance, and then his work in defence. He's an integral part of this team, Elliot Minchella.
Yes. Well, no points yet in the second half. 13 gone here. There have been chances, certainly for Hull Kingston Rovers, but they've yet to add to their lead. This side have not offered too much in this second half either yet.
I was listening to Adrian Lamb's press conference in the week. He said even he was surprised with the way that his team's performed so far this year. A good movement with the ball here.
Yeah, better. All the way out to Hodgson. He's tackled on the 40 last one.
But I think Adrian Lamb will be looking on at this and saying this is probably a good representation of...
First error from Broadbent.
There's a hole in his bucket, isn't there?
There is.
You remember that one, don't you, man? You're older than me. Probably just too easy for the fullback there, with no pressure anywhere near him. Elbows flailing out. Doesn't get his technique right. Needed to tuck those elbows in tight.
Well, if there is going to be a comeback, you get the feeling the Leopards need to come away with a score here.
And the point I'm making from Adrian Lamb is probably considered where his team are as an overachievement. Once he gets everybody back on board at full strength, he'll cause everybody and anybody problems.
There's Henry. They're offside, the Robins, so they're going to get another set here. And Dwyer into the action. Going. He's pretty glum, doesn't he, Adrian Lamb? We'll hear from him after the game. There's the ball taken forward by Aaron Penne. 5 out from the line. Rovers looking to keep their line intact. Here's O'Brien, short pass. Ball taken in by O'Neill. Dragged to the ground a couple of metres away. Ball fires into the arms now of Davis. He takes on the Rovers defence. No way through yet. Ball now works its way to Lamb. Finds Hughes. Dwyer to Lamb. Davis again. Carries with intent but wrapped up. 5 away. Penne to Lamb. Lamb with the ball over the top but nowhere to go for Hanley. Needs to keep it alive and he is wrapped up with nowhere to go. Brilliant defence again. But are they asking enough questions here, the Leopards?
It looked a bit disjointed from Leigh Leopards. Hulkar's desire to get up, take metres away when the ball is either moving in the air or when the lead players have hold of it, they just wrap Yamila Hanley up. He has nowhere to go, no options. He's just trying to stay on the island. And that synergy between team and crowd is in evidence there to get right behind the side.
Yeah, they're learning to enjoy the defensive side of the game, the fans here. Mentioned that big month ahead for them. In the cup final and in the grand final over the last couple of seasons. They want some silverware. They're desperate for it in this part of the Rugby League world. Leigh will play. One-handed, dummies. Can he get a pass away? He does. He finds Davis. Davis instantly closed down on the fifth. Then wants it quickly. Let me get it to Lewis. Lewis goes forward just again. Arrows the kick towards the sideline. Says to Armstrong, bring it out of there, and he does. He's up to the 20.
4 players meeting. They control the speed of the play of the ball. There's no momentum. And then the Robins try and take meters away.
Works its way along the back line. Here's Bailey Hodgson. Seems a long time ago since his double movement. Ruled out a try. Here's Tessie New. He breaks through one. He's away. Now the big man. He's off. He's got the fullback to beat. Burgess getting back, and Burgess will close him down. Wants a quick play the ball, and he gets one. Here's a big opportunity now. O'Brien out the back to Lamb. Miss out pass for Brand. Ball back on the inside for Hanley. Back to Lamb. Lamb gets it away. Penne will pick it up off the ground. He'll straighten things up now. Gets the pass away. Ball on the ground again to Davis. Here's Tessie New. New now going through. Tessie New. Can he find an offload? He does. Again, he's on the ground. Had him, scared him stuff from the Leopards, but it's the closest they've come so far. 10 out, last one. They want a quick play of the ball. Here now is O'Brien. O'Brien gets it away to Lamb. Lamb, did he run behind his own player? What a catch, Burgess. Somehow he got his left on it. And Hawkins and Rovers survive.
I thought you were going to run out of breath then, man. Well, Tessie knew he's going to run through. He's never going to run round you and out-sprint you, but he's going to run through you. Lachlan Lamb gets a kick away after all. The passes, the offloads, running forwards, running sideways, running backwards, and still, that try line is unbreached. Here he is, he's the big man, nice footwork, as I said. He's going to run through a brick wall, isn't it? Tessie New, meters after contact, leg drive, and the desire to stay up and mobile.
Here's Taggart. Oh, this is the last one. Gildart will thump it downfield. Armstrong will catch it on the full. He's going to swing the pass across here to Hodgson. Hodgson will carry forward, and he's tackled just short of the 30-metre line.
He's gassed, the big fella, with his hands on his hips. Then he didn't want that ball.
He's going backwards, but he's got the pass away. Finds Hodgson. Hodgson will carry it forward.
That pass looked forward. He was lucky to get away with that.
Big shot. Here it is. It's okay, isn't it?
Problem. You need some energy here, don't they? They spent a lot of that petrol tank defending.
Lamb slips away, gets it wide to Hodgson, just had to dive forward to catch. He needed to take it in stride. Last one, they penned on the touchline far side, and Hodgson slow to get to his feet. Here now is O'Brien, launches it high. Broadbent dropped the last one, but this one he catches nicely, and he'll look to bring it back up to the 20. Oh, thought he lost it for a moment. I think he did lose it, didn't he?
Yeah, there's no lack of desire from Leigh, especially when they've got the ball. They're just gassed, they're just out of energy. Jack Broadbent and the rest of his teammates, when it's their turn to get hold of the ball, there's energy in their tank.
Yeah, nervous moment here for Jack Broadbent. Look, here it was, with a nice hang on. Here now is Burgess. Inside. Zone 40, tackled just over the red line. We'll play it now. Here's Roy Hargreaves. Tries to bump off Dwyer. Tackle made. Last one. That flurry at the start where they could have scored a couple of tries. OKR now are just happy to complete their sets and kick downfield. Armstrong is looking to attack, but once again he's smothered and nowhere for him to go.
You have to commend the fitness weakness of Hull KR. They look sharp, they're on the toes, deep into the game, just about into the final quarter. On the toes, willing to work, looking for work. Yeah, you have to say the front runners aren't they? They're at the top of the table, full of confidence, confident in defence, threatening with the ball.
There's a short pass. Trout wrapped up. As well. Halfway. Into the final quarter we go. Wow. End over end kick. Robert's going to let this bounce. It gets a huge bounce and then goes dead. And there'll be a 7-tackle restart.
Not the only time, but one of the few times they've looked threatening is when they've put an offload or two in. With the scoreboard looking as it does, Adrian Lamb on his side might be better served just to try and throw something that they're not expecting. Promote the ball, offload the ball.
Well, amazingly, should it end with Leigh not scoring, this will be the third successive match against Hawkins Rovers they've not scored. It's quite a staggering statistic. It may well change in the next 17 minutes, but that's how we are at the moment.
Well, you can guarantee now you've said it.
Well, there you go.
It's out into the universe.
Well, here's Hadley. He's looking for some points at the other end. Six again, Leigh in the tackle count. Here's Luckley, gets it away to Hiku. Hiku drives it forward. I think a try would get the home fans excited as well. Job done, damage done first half, but they want more points to cheer on here. Next weekend for the league leaders. Here now is Hadley, finds Luckley, turns and spins, fights for another yard, wrestles, refuses until the last second to go down. Here's penalties. The referee.
Jez Litton typically picks up and passes the ball. They're going to kick the ball, yeah. I think you've picked it up, and perhaps everybody watching has picked it up as we see. I think he's hard done to you there, Owen Trout. You're allowed to hit the arm.
Well, they are going to take the 2 points here. Here is again the incident. So Litton has taken a step, hasn't he? I think it may well have been for offside, the actual penalty.
Yes.
That might have been the issue. Right, it is an opportunity to take a kick at goal here. Lewis is right in front, and it is 4 converted scores if they kick it.
But you're right, it's an unusual decision with the time left on the clock, the way that they've confidently gone about the business with ball in hand. Listen, when I was playing, if that scoreboard was the same back in my day, I'm saying let's keep going, let's enjoy our afternoon, get some more points. We've got the measure of the opposition, it's piled the pressure on, but Mikey Lewis and Hull KR will take the 2 on offer. Press reset, go back to the back line and start again.
Right in front, and it's 2 more points on to the Robins tally. 24 points to 0, another 2 for Lewis. And they're closing in on a 3-point lead at the top of the Betfred Super League table.
Wonderful sight, isn't it? Full stadium, rocking, bouncing. Mikey Lewis just having an energy gel, trying to put some energy back in those legs. That is roughly the same size as Terry O'Connor's head, that now. 1-to-1 side. Big head, nothing in it.
Roll back with a good catch, finds Luckley, who's on the charge. Luckley over the 20.
He's had to wait until a couple of minutes ago. He's sat and watched the dominance of his team, so he'll be looking to get involved and make a stamp on this game.
Yeah, don't close it out. With a big 20 minutes at the end of the match, Sam Luckley. Suaso Su. He's really going about his business in a good manner. As should have got the arm free, had Hadley with him, but Dwyer held on.
Release!
Ball now works its way to Broadbent. Broadbent will just go straight up the middle.
Move! Loudly, boys.
Is it now? Here's Lewis again. Lewis goes high. That's going to hang on the wing. They're going to get under this, the Rovers. Here's Burgess. Burgess sidestepping his way forward. Needs to find an offload. Got the ball in one hand. Gets it away. That's wide. Is it forward? It looked forward. Davis going for the line. He gets it away. Oh, they dropped it. Regallaty went backwards. Ball on the ground and it's kicked dead. Oh, what a comedy of errors. They looked certain to score. Would have been controversial. I think that initial pass went forward, but they don't get there.
I'm with you. That looks a mile forward. A bunch of the players are asking the same thing.
They're going to challenge this, how this ball
10
came
seconds
out.
on the Jim.
Not sure. No, they're not.
Tackle 5, next
Time is up.
hand over, fix hand over, tackle 5.
No, I don't think they are.
Burgess gets it here, and at this point, you think if they can get the pass to hand, but he passes it on the line.
It's a mile forward.
Then Hiku couldn't take it in. He should have scored. And after all that, it remains 24 points to nil. There's Burgess. Lovely take off the high kick. I think you have to say, credit where it's due, Hull KR's kicking game, with and without the win, has been much better than the Leigh Leopards kicking game.
And they've got two really accomplished kickers. Mikey Lewis has really developed that side of his game. But when he kicks the ball, the chase team, the kick chase team, the intensity is the thing that makes it into a good, from a good to a great kick.
Yeah. Now you just wonder if the Leopards dam is about to break. Hughes offload intercepted by Davis. Here come the Robins then, looking to put the icing on the cake at the top of the Super League table. Wilson at dummy half gets it away to Litton. Litton gets it to Suaso Su. He offloads it back to May. May finds Luckley. Luckley straightens up. Body's in motion out the back there. Luckley gets it right. Offload. It's a good one. He finds Hiku. Hiku gets it. Oh, what a pass! What a brilliant pass! And what a fantastic try! Bachelor's offload. Davis dives into the corner. That was one of the best you'll see. And at the end of round 5, it's going to be the Robins who sit proudly at the top of the Super League. They lead Leigh by 28 points to nil.
What's also nice, Sam Luckley, having to watch his side perform at this elite level, wanting to make his mark on the game. A determined, rumbling run, finds an offload over the top, gets his legs moving just at the point he's being put to fall, finds Petter Hiku, who has the footwork and the evasion to keep the ball alive. No small part here played by Bachelor, and Tom Davis gets his 5th try in 5 games. We're delighted he's made the move over to East Yorkshire. Of course, spent some time in Catalan. Very, very different weather conditions. But the passion on the terraces is exactly the same. We've been loving life here in Hull.
Mikey Lewis. With the conversion to come, it's a tough one. Under the winds. He's enjoying it. Mikey Lewis, why shouldn't he be? His team are playing really well at the minute. Willie Peters looks on. 3rd season in charge. I mentioned it earlier. They've been in a cup final. They lost in Golden Point. They went to the grand final. Conceded only 1 try, but still on the wrong end of it. But they're within touching distance now, Barry. They are genuine contenders on all fronts now.
Absolutely. You could make a case for both of these sides. Looking at silverware, there's 3 trophies available, and one or both of these sides will be looking at holding and lifting one of those.
Here's the kick for
turns 4 into 6 with a fabulous conversion. At this point in the game, with the scoreboard looking the way it does, both teams will be looking at the other side, the 0. Leigh will not want to suffer the humiliation of being nil. And OKR will be trying their best to make sure they are.
9 minutes remain for the Leopards to get themselves on the board. It is going to be the first defeat of the season for them. Luckily, again looking to offload, but this time hangs on. Coming short side with Lewis. Lewis has a run himself. Tackle just over the halfway line. I've seen as much of him in this second half, but he was outstanding in that first 40 minutes. Here's Hadley, another mammoth effort from him. Tyrone May's gone for a breather as McAlorum comes on. I think it's a breather. I didn't see anything wrong with him. We'll confirm that after the game.
He looks okay on the sideline. Probably just getting a well-deserved break. Coach Willie Peters has been really smart with his interchanges. You can see JWH and Tyrone May sharing a joke. They've enjoyed their afternoon. 2 points, job done. But the rotation of the team has meant that the energy has been high. When people have needed a breather or he's needed to make a tactical change, he's done it in the right fashion.
Here's O'Brien, finds Leigh, gets it to Armstrong, moves it to Tessie New. Manhandled by Hickey, ball on the ground. I think it's a knock on. It is.
Another defensive win. It's actually getting the applause from his teammates. Look at the body language.
Well, they are going to challenge this one. They are challenging this one, so we'll hand over to Ben Thaler. Leigh challenging.
It's the knock on there. It goes backwards. There. And it's always backwards off the Leigh man. And it doesn't touch the OK man, so that bit's there. It's then, does he knock on the floor? It bounces. Not touched. Aye, there. So originally he does maintain the ball. And he keeps hold of it. It's there. You can clearly see that there is separation, and he pulls the ball back in with his left hand. The challenge is unsuccessful.
There you go. Another challenge goes by the wayside.
You can't blame him for having a go, can you? Desperate to get some possession. Bailey Hodgson is judged to have knocked that ball on. He picks it up, hits his knee, hits the floor. Look at the dejection of the Leigh players. They've been well beaten virtually every facet of the game.
They have been a tough old afternoon for the Leopards. Not the performance or result they would have envisaged this morning. They'll dust themselves down and go again. They've got a double header with Wakefield in League and Cup to come in the next couple of weeks. Here now goes Lewis, gets it short to Soaso Sue. Sue looking, fighting for every inch of the minute. The forward pack have been dominant this afternoon, that is for sure. Here's McAlorum, finds Hadley, gets it away to Linton, ball back on the angle for Batchelor. Batchelor goes through one, tackled 5 metres out from the line. More pressure building here. Now Rovers make the most of it. Ball back into the hands of Hadley, finds Lewis, shows it, goes, needs support, trying to get it away. Tanganol was there, but there was a Leigh shirt in between them. Quick play of the ball, McAlorum thought about having a go himself, and in the end he's tackled 5 out on the last one. Gildar in at dummy half will play the ball, finds finds Mikey Lewis, just had to reach for it. Steps, comes back down the short side, finds Litton. Litton with a little kick in behind. Trouble here for Brand, who's going to be caught in goal. It is absolutely dominant from Hull Kingston Rovers. Every aspect of the game, they're all over the Leigh Leopards.
They just can't catch a break, Leigh, can they? Even when it is off script, even when it is instinctive, Hull KR are good enough to execute. And everybody understands what they've got to do. It was a made-up kick. It was a good chase that turned an average kick into a great kick.
Oh, short restart though. It's going to be gathered on the full here. Armstrong's got room to race. Finally, he gets a chance to run with the ball. And finally, the rubbish switch off.
I tell you what, I've been calling for it for the last 15-20 minutes. Try something different. They've ended up getting a penalty off the back of it. David Armstrong, he knows where the ball is going. It's a perfectly weighted kick from Gareth O'Brien, and at last, first time in about 10-15 minutes, they've got the ball in hand.
Well, Billy Peters will be furious if that switch off and then the penalty leads to points, but here comes Rovers defensively. Leo keeps going inside the 40. Is there a late consolation here? O'Brien into the line. Lamb's pass goes forward. And the line speed just squeezing the life out of the Leopards.
Forcing into mistakes every time. They've had decent field possession. Just not been able to do with it. They've had a fatigue factor in this game virtually from the first couple of minutes.
Castle kicks off round 6. Sky Sports action on Thursday night down at the Jungle. Leigh Wakefield Friday on Sky Sports Plus. Also on Friday, Warrington Leeds. Leeds looking to build on that big win over Wigan last night. The Dragons take on Saints on Saturday on 5:30 on Sky Sports Plus. And then a doubleheader on Sundays. The Giants take on the Robins and Wigan take on Salford. Here come the Robins again. They're in the mood for another point. Or two. Last one. Here is Litton. Litton's going to float the kick. They're looking to get pressure on Davis. Ball's dropped and Batchelor couldn't take it in, but it'll be a knock-on. Right, Barry Mandela, who are you going for our Betfred player of the match today?
I think it's been a magnificent team performance, and certainly in defence, the forward backs have been outstanding. I've loved what Elliot Minchella has done when he was on the field, but all the big moments belong to Mikey Lewis. Hasn't been a game where he's had a massive volume of involvement, but all the quality, all the box of tricks that he's brought to the game has meant that Mikey Lewis is the Betfred player of the match.
Thank you. We've got a captain's challenge here for Hull KR. I think they're challenging the fact that Leigh knocked this ball on and not Hull Kingston Rovers.
So you have a challenge that they knocked on. Everyone is onside. So we're just going through on this to make sure everything is okay. And I'm going to have to go close in on this. So it's who knocks on. If you look at the in tight there, you can see the Hull KR player who's going for the ball, and it's a clean challenge, both players. It's touched there by the Hull KR player, but he's allowed to touch that, that's fine. He hasn't knocked on into the Leigh player. Then we have a knock on. So let's just look at this again. He's touched by Hull KR first. There. So it is touched by Hull KR. Whilst it then comes off Leigh, there is a knock-on again there by Hull KR. The challenge is unsuccessful. Stay with your call.
Well, the challenge unsuccessful. You can see why they did challenge it. But it's unsuccessful.
You can all also understand why Ben Thaler, the video ref, has to go through the process. Was it a knock-on off Tom Davis? Once he's established that it wasn't, then the next knock-on from James Batchelor, which actually seemed quite obvious, was the easiest decision to make.
Well, this is what's coming up for Leigh. They make Wakefield home and away League and Cup, then they go to Castleford, Warrington over Easter, and then Salford to come. So there's games there that Adrian Lampside will feel they can come out on top of and strengthen their position. It's worth remembering, last year, 7 rounds in, they'd only won 1 game, so they're in a significantly better position already this year.
Yeah, and as I said, they've got some bodies to come back. Josh Charnley, he's on his way back. Rob Mulhern
next week.
Rob Mulhern, is he next week?
Apparently so.
Next week.
High kick downfield, gathered by Burgess, made it look easy. Last set then for the Robins, 30 points to 0, and that stat, 3 successive times they have been nilled against Kingston Rovers. That is some effort.
It means it's not a coincidence. It means that whatever Hull KR do when they play the Leigh Leopards, they're doing it and doing it again. And then working out how to do it again without Leigh working out how to stop them doing it.
I get what you mean. Here's McAloran, finds Hiku. He's been busy second half, hasn't he, Penny Hiku? He's done a lot of hard work in this second half. Been a good team performance. Here's Lewis, just floats the kick over the top again. It'll roll into touch. And that will just about do it.
I mentioned it before, the kicking game of Mikey Lewis has really developed over the last 2 years, 2 seasons. The variety in his kicking game, he's not just wellying the ball and looking for distance. He's got a nice short kicking game. He can hang it to allow the kick chase team to maximise that kick. And they've got some real threats now with Tyrone May and Michael Lewis.
This is the last tackle then. Oh, risky pass. And collects it. One more tackle to be made, and that's it. Hull Kingston Rovers extend their lead at the top of the Betfred Super League with a totally dominant performance. In front inside 7 minutes, Orly Gildart's try. Lewis Tangana, another for Lewis, and it was 22 points to 0 at the break. Chances were wasted by the Robins side of the second half. Lewis slotted a goal, and then Tom Davis flying finish means it's the Robins who have the advantage. They've won here by 30 points to 0. A miserable day for the Leopards. Rufus, the Robins, pretty happy. Why wouldn't he be? His team at top of the table and going great guns. That's 5 wins out of 5 now. 7 out of 7 in all competitions, and with a big month ahead, the Robins are attacking on all fronts. Where McDermott, they were dominant from the first whistle.
There was so much to admire if you're a Hull KR fan and a Hull KR player about that performance. It was professional, it was methodical, a lot of skill, and the commitment shown in defence meant that they just suffocated their opponents. And Leigh Leopards, whenever they hit the ball in good field position, couldn't do anything with it, either because of the intensity in defence or the exhaustion that they found themselves in different parts of the game. It's a well-balanced side. The bench is as impressive as the starting lineup. Leopard Tangano, the number 20, he was one of the players that came off the bench and scored a try. But the balance of the team, the interchange, the way that Willie Peters changed players and increased the intensity and increased the tempo of the game. You're right to mention Petty Hiku, that back division of Davis, Hiku, Gildart and Burgess, so impressive.
Yeah, they were indeed. 30 points to 0 then. It is the final score here. Hull Kingston Rovers dominant from start to finish here. The damage done in that first 14 minutes. Lewis 5 from 6 off the kicking tee as well. A good day all round for those in red and white. Hull Kingston Rovers beat Leigh by 30 points to 0. We'll hear from
fantastic win. It's always a tough game against Leigh. We've had some really good battles ever since the Challenge Cup final. But you know, that 80-minute performance today was needed, and real statement on the league now.
Yeah, double for yourself and a couple of assists as well in that first half. Damage really done in that first 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was a really good cycle. You know, we based ourselves on going on the cycle, and I can only credit for the boys around me and Joe Bates to put it in my arms to put it down. So yeah, the hard work was in, but yeah, the boys dug deep today, and it was a really good performance.
Talk to us about this defence now. You look like a team that are enjoying your success defensively.
Yeah, so every time we get a 0, we get breakfast for free in a cafe, so we're always chasing that every week. You know, and it's second week on the bounce now, and yeah, we're really enjoying it. We're really a defensive, focused team, and that we've based our performance on that, and it showed again tonight.
Mikey, congratulations on the win. It's Barry. I just wanted to talk to you about the connection that you've got with the crowd. You in particular, whenever they rise, you rise, and there's a real connection between you two. Is it something that's spoken about?
Yeah, 100%. When they feel this crowd, we fill this stadium every week. Travel away with us, and they deserve something, and we're building something special with the fans. It's been building over the last couple of years, and we're working hard every day and training to build ourselves to get some silverware. I know it's a long way, but we've got to keep our head down and keep working hard for this crowd, and hopefully success not long away now.
Yeah, a big month ahead, isn't it? A couple of derbies in there. Wigan come into town as well, but you can't take your eyes off Huddersfield next week.
No, 100%. We'll review this game on Wednesday. Come in, see what we need to work on. We play next Sunday again, and Huddersfield, you can say a lot about Huddersfield, but they've got to turn up next week, and we've got to turn up, and we've got to play an 80-minute performance again, and we won't look further in that, and we'll enjoy this win, but all eyes focused next week.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on being player of the match, and congratulations on the win. Cheers.
Thank you.
Mikey Lewis there after his 2-try performance. The first a simple one, but the second was a thing of beauty. The Burgess kick over the top, and there was Lewis to finish it off. A job very, very well done for Hull Kingston Rovers. 30 points to 0. Our player of the match. We've heard from him. Let's hear from his coach, Willie Peters. Willie, what a professional job that was from your boys today.
Yeah, really proud of them. I thought first half was outstanding. There was a strong wind, and we got some points late in that half, and I think we needed it because we knew that they'd come back in that second half. So, but yeah, what I'm proud of is obviously most of all is that 0.
We use the word smothered a lot. It just felt like you smothered everything that they tried to do today.
Yeah, that was the aim. You have to against a side like Leigh because they're a very good attacking team. For a team that's only been sort of a lot of new players in that side, they've started the season extremely well. They'll only get better. So we had a plan and executed it today, but certainly not getting carried away because it's a tight competition. We're happy with the way we're travelling at the moment, but there's a long way to go.
There's a massive month ahead for you guys now. There's a couple of derbies in there. Wigan come, you've got Huddersfield next week. It just feels like if you can come out of this next 5-6 weeks intact, you're going to be in a great position.
Yeah, 5 weeks is a long time away. We've got next week against Huddersfield, so that'll be a narrow focus. Obviously, they would have been too happy with their game last week, but I think they haven't been too far off. They haven't got a win at this stage, but the games before that, they've been in every single game and won most first halves. So we need to be on. We'll enjoy this, but we certainly need to be on against Huddersfield next weekend.
Talk to us about your defence. Just outside, it looks like you've got a team now that actually enjoy defending.
Yeah, they do. They do a lot of it, and defence will always come first over our attack. The points will come, like they did today, sort of the back end of that first half. But it comes off the back of defence. We're a defence-focused team first. That's who we are, and the players deliver that. You know, they delivered that again today.
Good stuff. Well, enjoy the win. You're top of the table going into next week. You've got a nice cushion there now. It's been a great start.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thanks. Willie Peters there joining us after his side won by 30 points to 0. 56% possession, 83% they ended up on the completion rate. Look at that, 350 more metres made. An impressive performance, and some good tries as well.
It was a pleasure to watch them with ball in hand. The second half wasn't as productive as the first half, but Oliver Gildart, who scored 6 tries in his last 4 Super League and Cup outings, opens the account for the home team. Ball in 2 hands, confusing defenders. Scored the first try on the left. He went back in the middle for the second one. The offload from Elliot Minchella, so impressed with him, his work rate, his workload, his involvement, desire to get that ball away. Michael Lewis with his first try of the afternoon. Mikey Lewis on hand with a show and go and a lovely one-handed offload to the substitute Tanganoa. Just rolls it into the path of the big second rower. Tanganoa on the score sheet, and just before half-time, Mikey Lewis, or Betfred player of the match, referenced Budgie, Joe Burgess, and that beautiful, accurate kick. He said Joe Burgess had done all the work, laid it on a plate for him. Right-footed kick into the path of the standoff just before half-time. 22-0 at half-time. There wasn't much to shout about in attack from either side, but this was a special try. The big man Sam Lucklett gets the ball away. Petter Hiku, Bachelor, with a no-look one-handed offload and an acrobatic finish for Tom Davis, who scores his 5th try in 5 games. As you said, Mark, professional and compelling victory.
Yeah, it was indeed. It was the final game of the round. Started off with Salford's first win over Huddersfield on Thursday. Wins on Friday. Warrington won a cracker at Saints, and then Hull rounded out to beat Wakefield before yesterday. Catalans beat Castleford, and Leeds came out on top of the thriller against Wigan. And today, Hull Kingston Rovers 30, Leigh 0. What does that do to the table? Well, then they are in the same order, but there's a big gap now. 3-point cushion at the top for Hull Kingston Rovers. They were 3 clear of Leigh and Hull FC. Leeds and Warrington meet next week there in 6th and 7th on the table. What have we got coming up next week then? Well, it's another huge week of Super League action. Every game live on the Sky platform and live only on Sky. Castleford take on Hull. Sky Sports action on Thursday night. On Friday, it's Leigh against Wakefield on Sky Sports Plus before Warrington take on Leeds on Sky Sports action on Friday night. Then on Saturday, the Dragons entertain Saints, 5:30 Sky Sports Plus. Huddersfield take on Hull on Sunday afternoon, and Wigan take on Salford. Both those games 3 o'clock on Sunday on Sky Sports Plus. So thanks to Barry McDermott, and thanks to you for joining us well this afternoon. It's congratulations to the Robins. They're bobbing along at the top of the Super League. They beat Leigh by 30 points to 0.
Sky Sports Plus.